All right, shalom, shalom, shalom. All praises to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, which is to say in the Paleo Hebrew, Yahweh, which is the name of our Heavenly Father, meaning He is, and that is who the world ignorantly calls God, Bahashim, which means in the name, Yahweh Shai, which means He is our salvation. And that is who the world also ignorantly calls Jesus, a so-called black man, who, by the way, only came for the Israelites, all right? Now, this video we have right here is for a up-and-coming project, or should I say, a regulation that has been implemented back when Biden was in office, but now it's going to take precedent when Trump is in office moving forward for vehicles, okay? And we're going to see this. It's a bill / law, if I'm not mistaken, that passed in Congress during Biden's administration, but now it's going to take precedent during Trump's administration. Beginning 2027, all cars made, I believe in America, is coming with surveillance, whereas in AI can use to be determined whether or not you're too tired to drive, whether you're intoxicated, or whatever reason that makes it unsafe for you to operate a motor vehicle, okay? And they're going to take that right from you with a little thing called a kill switch that's going to shut your car off. Now, I do not believe they're going to shut your car off in the middle of the lane in a busy intersection, but they may give you a time, or they may commandeer your steering wheel and take over and pull you over somewhere on the side of the road, all right? And this is all part of this technocracy that they're prepping the people for this up and coming new world order, or the mark of the beast, okay? And with technocracy, it's based on science, on scientific elements, okay? And AI is going to play a vital role in those science-based results, okay? Because that's the technocracy. Everything is science-based. This is better for you because we've ran tests, numerous tests, and it comes out majority of the time that this works best. It's science-based. Eating lab-grown meat is scientifically better for consumption in the fact that it reduces emissions, okay? This is the up-and-coming New World Order, and technocracy is going to be part of that, all right? So we're going to watch this little clip that's getting the people ready and prepared for what's coming down the pipe, okay? Taking away your little bit of freedom that you believe you had and replacing it with self-driven vehicles, autonomous driven vehicles, where you're going to have little to no say-so in the matter at all, okay? And we're going to see how they're introducing this idea or concept, which I believe, as it's going to say in the beginning of this video, has already been put into law to take place in 2027. All right? So we're going to play this video in its fair use for educational purposes only. Educational purposes only. Fair use. Check this out.
Starting in 2027, every single new car sold in America will be legally required to have a camera pointed at your face at all times. While you drive, It will track your eyes, measure your pupils, and analyze your blink rate. And it will decide.
Now you see, this is all based on science, scientific data and evidence and proof. Okay? This is what it's going to do. Under the AI watch, infrared cameras watch every blink. So it's measuring almost like a baseline of if you're too tired, if you're not reacting to certain, certain things that's out in the road in a timely manner. These are all things that can go into play when you drive under this new AI technocracy. It says AI judges if you're fit to drive. Data stored, shared beyond your control. Mandatory, meaning it must in all 2027 models, okay? And this is just the introduction phase because soon they're going to do updates to models made before 2027, 2026, 2025, probably going back as far as or early as the early 2000s, okay? When you go to renew your license, you're going to have to come in with a piece of paper saying your car has been, updated with the latest technology, okay? It says opt out, not an option, written in law, all right? So let's let it play, okay? As you see, 2027 cars.
Using an AI, whether you are allowed to operate your own vehicle. If it doesn't like what it sees, it can kill the engine. It can lock you out. It can strand you on the side of the road, and you will have no say in it whatsoever. This is not a conspiracy theory. This is not a proposal. This is section 24,220 of the...
Look that up. Section 24220, mandated driver surveillance, okay? This is what's coming in the up-and-coming technocracy ran government, okay? Where they're going to govern the people based on scientific data. And AI, or artificial intelligence, is going to play a big, major role in it.
2021 Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act, a law that was buried inside a 2,700-page bill that almost nobody read. It is already on the books. It is already in motion. Here is what the government sold this to you as. Every year, roughly 13,000 Americans die in drunk driving crashes. That is a real number. That is a real tragedy. And nobody in Washington is going to stand up and vote against stopping it. So in 2021, Congress quietly slipped Section 24,220 into the infrastructure bill, and President Biden signed it into law.
If you have tried multiple oral...
President Biden signed it into law.
So Biden signed it into law, and Trump is going to be the one to introduce it to the people, showing you that even though they try to tell you that voting Democrat or Republican is going to change the world, or should I say the country, they're both the same, all right? Two feathers on the same bird, okay?
The mandate is simple on the surface. NHTSA, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, must finalize a rule requiring all new passenger vehicles to include what they call advanced drunk and impaired driving prevention technology. Sounds reasonable, right? Keep drunk drivers off the road. Here is where it stops being reasonable. The law does not say breathalyzer. It does not say the drunk driving tool you voluntarily blow into. It says passive. The system must work without you doing anything at all. It must watch you, constantly, without your permission, without you triggering it, from the moment you get in the car to the moment you park. The technology they are building to do this falls into two categories, and it is being developed through a program called DADSS, the Driver Alcohol Detection System for Safety, a 16-year public-private partnership between NHTSA and the auto industry. This is not a startup pitch. This has been in development longer than some of your trucks have been on the road. First, biometric cameras. Companies like Seeing Machines, an Australian firm already cited in NH.
And this goes back to the Tesla model vehicles that, you can open the car with your fingerprint or anything like this, showing you that this is all leading towards this technocracy, all right? And at the center of it, we already know where they're going to try to use science or however it is to introduce this Charagma, this RFID microchip, all right? Because it's going to all tie in together, okay? Digital cars, digital houses, it's going to all play in together with that digital device that they're going to implement or implant inside your hand, all right? And it's all based on what? Science-backed proof, science-backed base, okay?
TSA reports make infrared sensors that mount on your steering column or A-pillar, tracking your eye movement, your pupil dilation.
To what I was just going to say, to track you, okay? This is what it all comes down to, surveillance.
Your blink rate, your head position. An AI processes that data in real time and makes a judgment call about your mental state. Second, passive alcohol detection. A company called SenseAir is developing breath sensors for the cabin that sample the air around you as you breathe.
Damn, boy. You can't, listen, you get in the car, you lean over to the left. You know how Jake like to lean when he drive, have his arm out the window. That ain't gonna happen. You're gonna have to sit up at attention when you drive. All right? You get in that car, you done went to the bar or whatever, and it has a air detector inside the cabin where you sit at, and it detects particles of alcohol. You ain't getting in that car. It's gonna shut down. See? They taking away your freedom one step at a time, okay? Because you got to remember, when you got your license, you understood that driving is a privilege and not an obligation. So under that signature that you sign when you get your driving license, they do these contracts with these car manufacturers all the time, man. All right? You're not obligated to drive a car. It is a privilege, okay? So guess what? They make deals with major, the DMV make deals with major auto manufacturers and insurance agencies. So guess what? Your insurance agent may tell you that if you don't have a 2027, that you need to upgrade to the device to put into your car, okay, in order to operate, all right? Because why? They are all in cahoots together. The insurance, the car manufacturer, the DMV, the state, the government, every one of them, okay? See, this is where it's coming down to, all right? They're going to strip you from your quote-unquote independency and have you rely solely on AI under this new technocracy. Not democracy, technocracy, where everything is based around science-backed proven data.
Normally, other suppliers are building touch-based systems into the steering wheel or start button that use tissue spectroscopy, infrared light that penetrates your skin to measure.
See, now this is just the introduction phase. When you got that chip, it's going to be able to read all your vitals. They're not going to need all this, man. All right, this is just to soften the blow, to tell you, to get you prepared that it can read your finger, your breath, the air in the cabin of your car. No, when you have that chip, it's going to know whether or not you're tired, whether or not you can drive or you're fatigued, so on and so forth. This is what it's all coming down to. This is what it's all boiling down to. It's prepping the people gradually to get prepared for what? Being told what to do, having restrictions, what else? Not, is it lockdowns? Lockdowns, you could throw that in there. All right. And just overall being, herd like a bunch of cattle. Okay.
Blood alcohol concentration without you doing a single thing. If the system determines your blood alcohol is at or above 0.08%, or if the AI decides your eye movement looks impaired from fatigue, from distraction, from whatever it decides, your car can prevent you from starting it, or it can limit your speed while you are already driving. NHTSA was supposed to finalize the rules by
so it can limit your speed, okay, to I guess a safe trailing speed. Like if you're doing 60, it may drop you down to 30 or 40, man. Okay.
in November 2024. They missed that deadline because here is the dirty secret they do not want you to know. The technology does not work well enough. Even at 99.9% accuracy, which sounds excellent across the hundreds of millions of vehicles on American roads, you are looking at tens of millions of false positives every single year. Sober drivers stranded, parents locked out during emergencies, diabetics getting flagged because low blood sugar affects their eyes the same way alcohol does, people fleeing wild.
See that? But we see the outcome. They still got it passed. Okay, nevertheless, because why? He knows he has but a short time. All right, Esau got to pull the trigger, man. All right, time is running out. Okay, he has to pull the trigger. All right, it's now or never pretty much for him.
Fires unable to start their cars. The government knows this, and they are pushing forward anyway. Now here is where this gets sinister, and I want you to pay close attention. The law, Section 24,220, does not require automakers to share your biometric data externally, but it does not prohibit it either. And we already know exactly what automakers do with your data when nobody is watching.
Granger knows that if you're a school custodian, cleanliness is your top priority.
Detailed driving behavior, acceleration, braking, GPS location. Through OnStar without proper General Motors was caught collecting, but it does not prohibit it either. And we already know exactly what automakers do with your data when nobody is watching. General Motors was caught collecting detailed driving behavior, acceleration, braking, GPS location through OnStar without proper consumer consent. They sold it to data brokers LexisNexis and Verisk. Those companies built driving score profiles, and insurance companies use those profiles to raise your rates. That already happened. That is not hypothetical. Now imagine that same pipeline, except instead of your braking habits, it is your eye movement patterns, your biometric stress responses, your daily driving behavior captured by a camera pointed at your face. The Insurance Institute for Highway Safety has already announced, under their 30 by 30 initiative, that driver monitoring data will factor into top safety pick plus ratings by 2030. Insurance companies are watching this technology very closely, because the moment that data flows from your car to a corporate server, and it will, your premium.
See, I tried to tell you, man. They all in it. They all in on it together. The car manufacturer, the insurance, the DMV, the state, the government, man. Okay, they're gonna make it damn near impossible. Okay, for you to do anything. It's all culminating, coming together. They're taking away any type of self-autonomy or freedom that you believe you had. From spending $1 to using a debit card to eventually your Apple Wallet to a digital ID to now driving, okay? This is where it's coming down to, all right? And it's always under the guide or auspice of safety. This is going to make it more safe. This is going to make it more safety for you. This is going to make it more safer for you to drive. See? And who's going to argue with that? This is how they do it. They hide behind, talking points like safety or children's safety or something like that. So you can't argue with them, because if you do, then that means you're not for humanitarian. All right? So look at that. Car insurance. You want your premiums to stay low? Get this. Because what are you going to do? You're going to pay, let's say you got a jalopy. And they tell you, in order for you to keep your insurance down, even if you got PIP, in order for you to keep it down under a certain amount of money, you got to upgrade your car, even with a jalopy. Don't worry. We'll send you the kit in the mail. You just put it in your car on your dashboard and we'll do the rest. And we'll keep your insurance at the same rate or lower. But if you do not, we're going to raise your insurance up, because now you're at risk. You're at risk. Don't have any teenager children either. They're going to break you. See, you thought it was all about the war in Iran. That's part of it. All right? It's all coming together, man. They want to take everything you got that you think you can be independent from the system, and they're going to use it against you. Because you're going to either be on the grid, this up-and-coming system, or you're going to have to be self-reliant, okay? And we know that's not going to work well with you if you ain't the elect and if the Lord isn't dealing with you.
Is no longer based on your accident history. It is based on how your eyes moved on a Tuesday morning.
Did you hear that? It's no longer based on your accident history, but how your eyes move. Whether you're alert, responsive, hard slam. If you slam on the brakes too hard, if you press the gas pedal too heavy. It's surveillance. And it's coming in 2027 to all 2027 makes and models, at least here in America. But they can always do an upgrade where your insurance says you must get this kit in order to keep your car insurance at a minimum, the cost. So it's an introduction phase. It's on all 2027 cars, because you thinking, oh, I got a 2000 or I got a 2006, that don't affect me. No. They in cahoots, or they're in league with these insurance companies. Whether you got General, whether you got Allstate, whether you got what's the one with Chris Paul or Allstate, whether you got State Farm, Direct General, Direct Auto, or whether you got a bootleg knockoff insurance, it ain't gonna matter. They're still going to still require you to upgrade, all right? Because why? You need a car to drive, see? So this is what it's coming down to.
And because these systems are software integrated, automakers can push over-the-air updates after you buy the car. What ships as an impairment detector in 2027 can be expanded without a single congressional vote, without your consent, to track speed compliance, location patterns, or whatever a future administration decides to add to the definition of impairment. You are not buying a car. You are buying a surveillance terminal on wheels, and you are going to pay $100 to $500 extra for the privilege. In a previous video, we talked about blue-collar mechanics pulling computers and wiring harnesses out of their trucks and dropping in carbureted engines that run on pure physics. No ECU, no OBD 2-port, no software, 3 wires. We called it the carburetor rebellion. Here is why that rebellion just became a whole lot more urgent. The mechanics who are hunting down pre-1986 small block Chevys, Ford 300 inline sixes, and Chrysler slant sixes, they were doing it to escape the parts trap, to escape discontinued modules and dealership extortion. But now those analog engines are something even more valuable. They are surveillance-proof. A carbureted engine built before the computer mandates of 1996 has no camera, no...
Good luck on finding them cars, man. What did they say, 1986? Come on, man. Hey, they're going to ask you, just even if it's not even, if you find a 1986 Oldsmobile Cutlass, they're going to ask you for an astronomical price for it. 40,000, 50,000. And it even got it doesn't even have to be in the best condition. See? It's finished. It's a wrap.
Biometric sensor, no AI making decisions about your fitness to drive, no over-the-air update port for a future government to push new monitoring rules through. It cannot be remotely disabled. It cannot be bricked. It cannot report your eye movements to an insurance algorithm. It runs on vacuum and physics and nothing else. And the federal government, the same government now mandating cameras in every new car, has already made it illegal to swap that engine into a newer chassis for on-road use. The EPA and CARB have...
Look at that. They made it illegal for you to swap that chassis into another car's engine. They've been planning this for the longest now, okay? Now they're ready to bring it to the light because why? Their time is running out. Okay? Their time is running out, man. It's time to get this thing up and running, man, because these cars, it's going to play a pivotal role in these smart cities. All right? These 15-minute cities. Okay?
Lock the door. Your truck was born with emissions equipment. The law says it must die with it. They are not just mandating surveillance on new cars. They are systematically closing every escape route from it. The federal government will tell you this is about saving 9,000 lives a year. And maybe it does. That argument is real and it deserves to be heard. But saving lives and owning your biometric data are not mutually exclusive. You can oppose drunk driving and still demand that the camera pointed at your face in your own vehicle cannot be accessed by your insurance company, sold to a data broker, or expanded by a software update you never approved. The problem is, nobody is having that conversation loudly enough. So here is what I want to know from you. Would you buy a 2027 car knowing it has a camera watching your eyes every time you drive? Or does this finally push you toward an older analog vehicle for good? What state are you in? And is emissions testing already making it harder for you to keep an older truck on the road? Sound off in the comments, because the people building the survival guide for what comes next are not in Washington.
Well, here's the point. Here's the thing. It doesn't matter what you think, okay? Because we know the whole thing is trying to keep up with the Jones, okay? Oh, they got a nicer car. I want a 2027. They got a 2027. I got to get the 2028. And see, Esau knows this, man. All right? Especially the women, all right? Because they're the number one spender, especially the so-called black women, okay? Vacation, trips, traveling in the world, all of this, okay? So they know this. They know you're not going to want to get a 2000 or 1996 Sunfire or Pontiac Sunfire or 2000 Chevy Impala or, where you can get a 2027 such and such, all right? And this is what they're banking on, okay? You trying to keep up with the times, all right? So this is where we're at with it, okay? They're getting ready to bring it, and it started next year, okay? It started next year with the car, all right? Now let's get this that I Googled and let's read about it. So I typed into AI, Google, and I said, is technocracy science-based? And AI overview says, yes, Technocracy is a system of governance where decision making is based on scientific and technical expertise, often managed by experts like engineers and scientists rather than elected politicians. It focuses on evidence-based policy, and they're going to use AI, maximizing efficiency and resources and resource management over political ideology. See? So this is where we're going at with it. Now let me type into this right here. Is AI part of technocracy? Let's see what it says. Yes, artificial intelligence is increasingly considered a core component and catalyst of modern technocracy, shifting or moving away from governance from democratic political process to data-driven. Automated decision making. See, because why? It's going to all be tied together to that chip. All right? That chip is going to play a major role in this up and coming government, technocracy. All right? They're moving away or shifting away from the democratic or the democracy that we know of today, and they're getting you prepared and prepped for what? The technocracy. Okay? This is where they are hoping to shift things to. All right? And what more way to shift it than to put it into your car? Okay? Whether you got a manual or automatic, you're going to still have to what? Use this technocracy, or should I say technology. It says, yes, artificial intelligence is increasingly considered a core component and catalyst of modern technocracy, shifting governance from democratic political process to data-driven automated decision-making. AI acts as both a tool used by technocratic elites to manage complex systems. And who are those elites? These big techs, okay? Such as in smart cities, see? And as an independent system making automated, see? So no longer are you going to have to think for yourself anymore. Everything is going to be taken care of for you. They're not giving you all this technology for nothing. They're gathering data, okay? From your smartphone to your car to your workplace to your vacations when you check in, and hotels when they use these new technologies. You know, you check in, whether you go to a theme park and it reads your face scan. Everything is collecting data on you. See? And you're just so happy to, be going to the theme park and they put my face in a kiosk check-in, and now I can go, ride the rides at Universal Studios. Now I can check in at the hotel on my vacation to the Bahamas. See? Now I can drive my 2027 Lexus. See? And you're not thinking that they're collecting all this data, okay? They're using it. They're storing it. They're upgrading. They're making tweaks. All right? Because you're not going to be part of this system. You're not going to have a say-so in it. They're gathering the information for what? The AI to continue to evolve. Or should I say upgrade? That's a good movie. Watch that movie Upgrade if you haven't, okay? That movie Upgrade is a good movie about this, all right? So it says AI acts as both a tool used by technocratic elites to manage complex systems such as in smart cities and as an independent system making automated technical decisions that bypass traditional decision making. Get used to it. They're introducing it to you through what? All these self-driven, taxis. Get used to not thinking. Get used to sitting back and letting them do all the work for you. All right? They're even going to give you a UBI, a universal basic income, because why? They're prepping you for everything that's to come. All right? That's you taking that charagma, that RFID microchip, and you solidifying that they are your Lord or your God, and you have no more control over yourself. See, that's what they want. As it says in 2 Thessalonians, we're going to get there, Lord willing. All right? We're going to get the mindset of this damn devil, man, because he thinks he's God. And in order for him to play the part, he needs you to take his chip and to what? To bow down to him. Okay? To use his amenities, his cars, his cities, his everything, just in general, everything that you got right now, he needs you to say that he gave it to you and he's the reason why you're pretty much in existence, okay? So it says, it as an independent system making automated technical decisions that bypass traditional decisions making, see? So this is where we're going at with it, okay? And this technocracy, all right? So matter of fact, let's look up that word technocracy.
Technocracy.
It says technocracy is a system of governance where decision making is entrusted to technical experts. All right? Who do you think are the technical experts behind this AI? All right? It says such as scientists, engineers, and economists rather than elected politicians. So get ready. Say this. We very much well could have witnessed the last election. All right. Elections, as we know, may no longer be a thing. We may not have a 2030 president. Okay. So Trump may very well have been the last president to be elected. All right. Under this democracy. Okay. We could be potentially entering into that fourth industrial revolution, all right, where technocracy is going to be the way of governing, all right, where everything is based on scientific data, all right, rather than the people having a say-so, okay, because why? That's part of the New World Order or the beast system, all right, where in order for you to buy and sell, you have to have that what? The RFID microchip, and you don't have a say-so in it, okay? So it says technocracy is a system of governance where decision making is entrusted to technical experts such as scientists, engineers, and economists rather than elected politicians, aiming for efficient, data-driven, and evidence-based policy. It originated in the early 20th century U.S. and prioritized efficiency, expertise over public sentiment, often facing criticism for being undemocratic and elitist. Well, guess what? This beast system is going to be ran by the elites, okay? See, the cat's out the bag, man. You know, you Americans and others alike around the world that think that you guys can come up against the government, well, guess what? They're just going to turn your chip off, man. They're just going to shut you down, all right? Oh, he put a tweet up, okay, and it's not in a line of what we're pushing, shut his chip off, shut his car off. Kill switch, kill that car. See? Oh, he tweeted that? Okay. Cut back on his ration of lab-grown meat for this week or this month. So you're not going to have a say-so in any of this, all right, in this up-and-coming technocracy, all right? So let's get a few precepts. Been talking kind of long here. Let's get a few precepts. This is Isaiah 10:1. It says, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees in that right grievingness which they have prescribed. See? So they've been planning this, okay? Back when Biden was in office. Now it's taking president now that Trump's in office. Showing you that they the same, you know, they the same feather on the bird. You know, they the same side on the same, they the same on that same coin. Two sides of the same coin is what I should say. Man, 1:27 a.m. They two sides of the same coin. All right? They just play you like a fiddle or like a badminton because you think what you got to say matters. So they say you can vote Republican, you can vote Democrat, or you can vote independent. See, but now it's coming to a point where you don't get to vote at all, man. Because we giving you people time to vote and it ain't coming, nothing has come of it. So we're taking that power from you and we're going to put in science-based, science-driven data. And they know the people are going to be in an uproar at that. They know the people are going to be in an uproar with that. So that's when they're going to have martial law. When they shut cities down, all right? When they go into lockdowns, curfews, okay? And they're going to use this AI technology to help aid all of it, all right? So get ready, get prepared, man. It's just going to get real next year, 2027. All right? And it's starting with your transportation, okay? And, hey, you may get a letter or email from your insurance company that's telling you that you need to get caught up to date with whatever it is that they passing right now that they writing. That's what it says. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees. So, hey, they probably preparing to write more unrighteous decrees. All right, forcing you farther and farther away from your freedom, man, and to the point that it's just gonna boil over into the streets. Okay. See, but they know all this. All right, that's why they got provisions and measurements for that when it happens, when y'all get ready to take it to the streets. It says, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees in that right grievingness which they have prescribed. See? Taken away, because like stated earlier, driving is a privilege, not an obligation. Now they cashing in that saying, and they saying, well, if you want to continue your privilege, do what we tell you to, because it's not a right, it's not an obligation. We don't owe you anything. See? If you want to drive on the roads that's funded by the public, it's a public road, but hey, this vehicle that you're using, guess what? In order for you to drive it on those public roads, which is a privilege, you must adhere to what we say, okay? Or else you can walk on the road. The road is public. You can walk on it. But in order for you to drive it, to maintain that driving license, because you have to have a driving license despite what these sovereign citizens try to say, oh, I'm not commuting or I'm not driving, I'm traveling. You could try all of that. You could try all of that sovereign citizen nonsense as you want to, man. I'm not driving, I'm traveling. Well, you're behind a motor vehicle, pal. And you got to have a driving license. See? So you can try all that you want to try to get them. It ain't going to work, man. It ain't going to work. They got grievous prescribed decrees, man. And they getting ready to put one into effect in January. I don't want to say January, but 2027. I don't know what month it's going to be. All right. So this is exactly the way they wanted it. And this is the reason why. This is 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 4. Well, let's jump up to verse 3. This is 2 Thessalonians 2 and 3. It says, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed. Esau, which is why he's in a hurry now. The son of perdition, who opposes and exalteth himself above all that is called the Most High. Why? Or that is worship, so that he as the Most High, see? He wants to be your God. He wants you to worship him. And when you take that chip, that's how you show your allegiance and who you're in line with, and that you want everything that he has to offer to you in this up and coming New World Order beast system, where technocracy is going to play a major role in, that you have to what? Get that charagma, that RFID microchip. It says, or that is worship, so that he, as the Most High, sitteth in the temple of the Most High, showing himself that he is the Most High, all right? And he really wants the elect of Israel, but he's going to take just the 2/3, because the elect are already given to the Most High. They're not going to be compromised, all right? When that RFID microchip comes into place where it's made mandatory, all right? They're not going to use this system anymore. That's going to be our sign that, hey, we out of here. No more relying on this system. You know, they can give us universal basic income. That ain't the RFID microchip, so we can take it as to say, use the system but not abuse it, okay? So up until the point where they say in order for you to buy and sell and to get wherever else that you need, you got to take that RFID microchip, then that's when we break off. We don't compromise. We don't take that RFID microchip, all right? We can get the universal basic income, all right? We can get, if it takes a digital ID to get online or to get on a plane or to get a driver license, we can get it because it hasn't asked us to put a chip inside of us. See? When they make that decree, as we read in Isaiah 10 and 1, when they prescribe that grievous, unrighteous decree, that in order for you to buy and sell, matter of fact, let's go there. Matter of fact, let's jump to Isaiah 10 and 1, and then let's see one of the decrees, because I should have went in order like that. Isaiah 10 and 1, woe to them that decree unrighteous decrees. We're going to see one of those unrighteous decrees, and that right grievous which they have prescribed. Let's go ahead and jump to it and see it. Revelation 13 and 16. Let's see that. The grievous decree. This is Revelation 13 and 16. It says, and he causes all. So this is the decree. In order for you to do what we're about to read next, you must have this. And he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark. This is the decree. In order for you to buy and sell, this is the decree on the behalf of the elites of the New World Order. It says to receive a mark that is a physical device in their right hand or in their foreheads. And for what purpose? And that no man might buy or sell. See, if you don't have that mark, which is that decree, that mandate, you won't be able to buy and sell. You won't be able to buy a car. You won't be able to sell a house. You won't be able to do anything on this man's up and coming system unless you take the chip. And that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. This is Isaiah 10 and 1. Woe unto them that prescribe unrighteous decrees. This is an unrighteous decree, but it's necessary because why? It's prophecy. All right? But in order for you to buy and sell, you're going to have to get that chip. And they putting it, they got it already into, just like they had this 2027 in play, back when Biden was in office, they already got this right here in play. Okay? They're going to just come on. It may come across your screen or your phone or whatever. The microchip is now out for you to have in order to buy and sell, or however they're going to come with a breaking news. And in order for you to get whatever it is, because he wants to be your God, as we're going to jump now to 2 Thessalonians, you have to take the microchip. So now let's go to 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 4. It says, who opposes and exalted himself above all that is called the Most High, or that is worship, so that he as the Most High sitteth in the temple of the Most High. See, the Israelites, okay? Because why? Your body is a temple, all right? And it's coming to affect the whole earth, but he really wants his birthright back. So he really wants this to get the Israelites, but Esau, speaking of Esau, really wants to get the elect of Israel, but they're not his to touch. So he going to get the 2/3, but the elect off limit. All right, they belong to who? Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. So it says, or that is worship, so that he as the Most High sitteth in the temple of the Most High, showing himself that he is the Most High. In his mind, with that device, that RFID microchip. See? This is what we're telling you, man. Time is running out. You better get right. Revelation 12 and 12. He knows he has but a short time. You better get right with the Lord, for the Lord allows this before the Lord allows this devil to fully let loose, because it's coming that time. We getting close to that time. We fastly approaching that time. Lord willing, Abba Ratazah, Father will. And when that dam finally breaks and this devil comes out with it, and he lets all hell run loose, which is ultimately the Lord allowing it to happen, it's going to be too late to try to find the Lord then. Okay? It's going to be too late. You better get him now. You better find him now. Revelation 12 and 12. Therefore rejoice, you heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you. Why? Having great wrath, which is why he's writing these unrighteous decrees. Because he knoweth that he have but a short time. He got to push this agenda thing fast. That's why it says Romans 13:11. Now is our salvation nearer than what we believe. Because this devil has run out of time. The Lord is speeding things up for the elect's sake. St. Matthew 24:22. If it wasn't for the elect's sake, these days wouldn't be shortened. We'll get that too. Romans 13:11, and that knowing the time, that now is high time to awake out of sleep. Why? Because the devil is coming. He has but a short time. Wake your ass up, Jake. He's coming. This devil is coming with the mayhem, the chaos. It says, in that knowing the time, that now is high time to wake out of sleep. Wake your ass up. We telling you to wake up. Seek the Lord. Turn back. Repent. Or else be destroyed. It says, for now is our salvation nearer than when we believe. See? When he rolls in, like it says in Isaiah 59:19, like a flood, the Lord is going to lift up a standard with those spiritual powers, man. And then on top of that, we got our Lord and Savior Yahushua coming back. But if it wasn't for the elect's sake, because that's who he wants to get, those days wouldn't be shortened. See? And this is why he's moving like he's moving, because he knows that. Matthew 24:22, let's read it. And except those days should be shortened. That's why he's moving quick, because the Lord is shortening these days for the elect's sake, as we're going to read. And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake, those days should be shortened. See? This is why it's moving and grooving, baby. This devil ain't got all the time in the world. He throws out dates to try to scare you. Agenda 20, hey, you lucky if you get to 2030. Shit, the Lord shortening these days quick, making you make moves and irrational moves on top of that to where you got to just get, tacky and just throw some shit together, man. All right? So that you can be justified in bringing in your charagma, which is actually the Lord charagma, but he's using you to bring it in. Nevertheless, you still making, plays that don't look, because just what happened with Trump, the latest so-called quote-unquote attempt at him. It's tacky because why? You look at all three attempts, man. What do they got in common? Inexperience. And somehow, some way, some form, they had some type of exposure through a commercial or something that they was on prior to them so-called attempting to take Trump out. It's tacky. It's all in the name to try to, what's the word I'm looking for? To try to galvanize his constituents. Oh, see, the first one, it was all right. They bought that. But now they saying, man, this shit is just, it ain't adding up. It's too tacky, man. It's a distraction ploy. You told us you was going to release the Epstein files. You was going to stop war. At this point, your constituents is probably like, when they going to take you out, man? Stop with all these goddamn attempts. You ain't did nothing that you ran the campaign on. And now we supposed to believe another attempt. You had the one at Butler, Pennsylvania. You had the one at Mar-a-Lago. And now you had this one. All by inexperienced so-called assassins, if you want to call that. If you want to call them that, man. It's evident, man. His enchantments are wearing off. Even the people can see it. Now, they war off for the elect. We already know what's going on. But even his constituents, his supporters, his starch supporters, they see it, man. And they ain't buying it. So guess what? They know they got to make a move, man. And the Lord is shortening the days to apply that pressure on them even more. The more they try to, use these stage offense, the more they get exposed, the more that pressure applies that their tricks, their enchantments isn't wearing off. As it says in Isaiah 47, your enchantments are wearing off, man. We'll get it, we'll get it because we in the spirit, It says, let me see. Might be 13. Isaiah 47 in verse, let's see. Let's just read 3. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered. Thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance and I will not meet thee as a man. So Babylon the Great, its enchantments and everything else is being uncovered. All right. And then on top of that, Yahushua, when he comes, he's not going to meet, Esau as a man. He's coming in that angelic form. All right. Alongside the host of heaven. All right. So this is where we're at with it. Okay. We're coming to an end of all of this. And he knows he has but a short time. The Lord is putting that pressure on him. All right? So we here. Okay? We just got to continue to endure. And be what? Let's read it. 1 Peter 5:8. It reads, be sober, be vigilant. Why? Because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. See? The game is what? To be sold, not told. If you don't know no better, guess what? He's going to get you. But see, that's why we got this truth. This truth, this word is putting us up on Esau's game, man. Because it's all a game to him. See? And the Lord is getting ready to take his ass out, take him down. All right? In due time, he will set over it one that is profitable. That's Yahushua. He's coming to set things back in his right place. All right? So we just got to continue to stay locked in and focused, man. All right? Be sober. 1 Peter 5:8. Be vigilant. Why? Because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. All right? So with that being said, pray some more was edified through this lesson. And until the next time, if it be the Lord's will, Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, stay strong, stay in the faith. We're almost home. Shalom. Peace.